Handful of games this season, mainly when they were playing against Caitlin Clark. WNBA players, they have finally experienced what it feels like to play in front of people who are capable of breathing without the assistance of an air compressor. With the chase for the golden toilet beginning this past weekend, I know the community of identifiers. They want to continue this celebration into the fall. But Uncle Casey is here to tell ya, the celebration is over. Reality is knocking on the door of the porta potty. The truth is finally coming to the light. The same light that is going to be dimming here in about 12 hours when Caitlin Clark is eliminated from the playoffs.
So, here we are. It looks like the WNBA is definitely running into some real issues right now.
Is finally being proven without a shadow of a doubt. Caitlin Clark is a megastar. Caitlin Clark is a box office draw, while the rest of the WNBA, it is nothing but a polished turd. Well, it appears that Caitlin Clark fans have listened. Last night, I received the ratings for the first round of games for the chase for the golden toilet. As expected, Caitlin Clark, she was able to draw even though she was competing directly against the early games in the NFL. And as expected, the rest of the WNBA was completely ignored.
Look, some people are even saying the WNBA could totally fall apart, and honestly, who's surprised? Everyone knew Caitlin Clark was drawing in all those viewers. Now that she's out, those viewers are disappearing too, but it's more than just that. The league and its sponsors are definitely noticing this, and they're trying to fix things because they desperately need those ratings. The thing is, they can't really use a rookie like her as their main star anymore, especially since she's out, and from what we're hearing behind the scenes, she might not even be the poster girl they truly wanted anyway. It feels like everything is just getting exposed right now.
Everything that we've been talking about, like what's wrong with the WNBA, what's wrong with diversity, equity, and inclusion, what's wrong with this race agenda, what's wrong with this Black Queens agenda. And so he's written a story about Nike and why Nike has been reluctant to take advantage of Caitlin Clark. The WNBA's never had anything, nothing. Cheryl Miller couldn't really move the needle. Candace Parker couldn't really move the needle. Now they have this woman, and she's made the WNBA relevant. And I'm like, why isn't she being promoted? And how did Nike get her at such a reasonable, wasn't it 22 or 32?
$28 million.
$28 million over 8 years. Like, that doesn't add up to me.
Jason Whitlock made a really good point, right? He's asking why the WNBA wouldn't invest in their biggest asset, and why Nike would put so much money into something just to let it crumble. Basically, it seems like it all boils down to a specific stereotype the league is trying to promote.
Instead, in the early Clark era, Nike stock has tanked over the span, and the CEO just got ousted. By the way, though Clark got famous around 22, if you want to buy her shoe, you could be waiting until 2026 to 2027. It goes on to point out, like, Caitlin Clark's in her first NBA playoffs, first NBA season, and she's wearing Kobe Bryant's shoe. They don't even have a shoe for her. And it may not be till 2026, 2027. LeBron James had his own signature shoe his rookie year. So 20 years ago, Nike was nimble enough and had enough vision to see that, hey, let's get LeBron's shoe out here. This guy's going to be a big deal. They can't do this for Caitlin Clark for some reason.
But here's the thing. That's not even the craziest part. What's really wild is that this whole situation actually explains why Nike seems to be ignoring Caitlin Clark.
So he walks through, like, there was a Nike ad for Iowa Caitlin, though it wasn't exactly pushed on the public. There has been no Nike commercial for Clark as a pro. Let that sink in. No Caitlin Clark commercial. She's had 4 years of being the biggest star in all of sports, driving up these television ratings. No Nike commercial. That was me. Now back to Ethan Strauss. Now Clark's Fever are in the WNBA playoffs, and she's wearing Kobe sneakers instead of her own signature brand. In summary, Nike lucked into the marketing chance of a generation, and they're using that to advertise old product. Why is it happening this way? Now here's the money. Based on conversations with people in the know, it indeed has something to do with the WNBA MVP and Nike athlete Asia Wilson. But beyond Wilson, it's about the culture of the company that's more concerned with quelling noise rather than making it as Nike once used to.
Okay, so obviously this whole thing sounds pretty ridiculous, but what does it actually mean for everyone involved? What are the real consequences here?
Don Staley and the rest of the angry Yas Queen feminists saying, don't do that for that white girl until you make this 6'5" black woman more popular than the white girl. That when you look around and ask yourself, why is the WNBA marketing the playoffs leading with Asia Wilson and not Kelsey Mitchell, not Caitlin Clark? Why? Why are they? No, you're white. You have to stand in line. We're committed to Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson's not going to sell a shoe. Period. End of story. Are idiots. Idiots. They're not about business. They're not about growing the WNBA. They're about diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is insanity, what they're doing to Caitlin Clark. It's bad business. It's short-sighted. When this woman exits the playoffs, probably tonight, the WNBA playoffs are over. You wonder why they sat and watched her get stabbed in the eye by Dejanay Carrington and did nothing? They want her out of the playoffs.
So the thinking seems to be, no, you're white, you wait in line. We're all about Asia Wilson, and that's exactly what played out. What do you think about Caitlin Clark being essentially sidelined and the league kind of pushing her aside? Is this WNBA season already a wrap now that Clark's out? Will fans even bother watching when she comes back next year? Let me know what you think in the comments. Now switching gears a bit, let's talk about Clark's performance last night. The Fever's impressive run this season just wasn't enough against the Sun. They made it to the WNBA semifinals for the 6th straight time, which is huge. Even though they got swept by the Sun, there's still so much to be proud of. Both Boston and Clark landed on the WNBA All-Star team as rookies, and it looks like the Fever could have back-to-back Rookie of the Year winners. If they keep building on this, they'll be back even stronger next season. Despite the loss, Caitlin Clark, that rookie phenom, put on a show. She racked up 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists, almost pulling off a fourth-quarter comeback to save Indiana's season. Get this, Clark is the first rookie in WNBA history to have a 25-5 playoff game, and she's the first rookie to hit 25 points, 9 assists in a WNBA or NBA playoff game since Magic Johnson back in 1980. Even with only 2 postseason games, Clark played a huge part in one of the best WNBA seasons ever. She started Game 2 strong, draining her first three-pointer after a tough shooting night in Game 1. But eventually, the Connecticut defense just wore her and Kelsey Mitchell down. Both played all 40 minutes, which is a massive effort. Despite that, Clark found a second wind in the fourth quarter when the Fever were trying to get back in it. She actually gave Indiana a late lead with a three-pointer with just 4 minutes left. But Marina Mabre from the Sun immediately answered with her own three, and that's when the Sun pulled away for good. The Fever really found their rhythm in the second half of Clark's first season. After a slow start, they caught fire, rising to the number 6 seed by increasing their tempo and adding Lexi Hull to the starting lineup. They really became one of the top offenses in the league. Now the Fever are looking at a crucial summer where they need to keep developing around their core of Aaliyah Boston and Clark. A big focus will be re-signing Kelsey Mitchell, who was just incredible after the Olympic break and really ignited the Fever's offense later in the season. If Clark keeps improving in her second year, she absolutely has the potential to lead a team to a championship, especially with the right talent around her. Mitchell and Clark really built a great connection as the season went on, and Coach Christy sides started using them together to create matchup nightmares for defenses. In terms of bringing in new talent, Mitchell averaged 19.2 points this season, so you might look for an athletic wing to add to the rotation, maybe someone like Misha Hines-Allen of the Minnesota Lynx, who will be a free agent this offseason, who broke another record and became the first player in WNBA history to average at least 18 points, 5 rebounds, 8 and 1.0 blocks over an entire series. While Hull did a fantastic job as a 3-and-D option, the team could use someone else to fill that role, either with Hull in smaller lineups or as a backup. Only Michael Jordan has achieved those exact numbers in both the WNBA and NBA, which is super rare. Clark bounced back from a tough Game 1, showing that no amount of struggle keeps her down for long. She plays like a 10-year veteran with a goldfish memory, always giving her all and not letting past mistakes affect her. She led the Fever in Game 2 with 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists on 10 of 23 shooting, and only turned the ball over 3 times, which is below her season average. This was a great recovery from her 11.8 assist effort in Game 1, where she shot just 4 by bouncing back like that. She definitely made some history. Of course, WNBA first-round matchups are only best of 3, so the Sun easily won Game 1 93-69. Then in Game 2, Connecticut survived a much stronger effort from Indiana, officially ending Caitlin Clark's season. Given the short series length, comparing Clark to Jordan might be a little misleading, but you have to admit, her ability to put up huge stats is just exceptional. It won't be long until that translates into serious postseason success. You just can't overstate Caitlin Clark's cultural impact. She brought in record WNBA viewership. The league's popularity has soared largely because of her marketability, but she's also incredibly skilled, transforming the team from a lottery pick club to a playoff contender in just 1 season. She had some growing pains early in the 2024 season, sure, but Clark has proven she belongs at the top of the WNBA hierarchy, getting more comfortable against seasoned veterans. Clark is only 22, and she's already set a ton of WNBA records, like her assist record, which she's definitely set to surpass again if she can clean up those turnovers. To truly get a championship, Clark also needs to make the Fever an attractive spot for free agents. So are you going to be watching the Fever again next season? Do you think they can crack the top 4 in 2025 and maybe even make it to the playoff semifinals? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for daily WNBA news.